Okay. Good morning or good afternoon, depends on where you dial in from. Welcome to another Megaport Tech drop-in session. This is a live session we host from today in Melbourne. Um, right. Let's get started. So what is this about? The Megaport live tech drop-in session. And Megaport we host 3 sessions globally every Friday, led by solution architects from APAC, North American, and the Europe region. We actually also have a special one in Japanese, hosted probably once a month from Tokyo, from Japan, dedicated for Japan market. And this is a informal chat from Megaport to all the uh, potential customers or partners about our product and the solutions. So please feel free to bring up any topics you want to discuss or you like us to touch on. If we cannot cover in today's session, we can organize some other session in the following episodes. We also aim to do some live demos at the end of the session to show you how Megaport services work in the real world. If you haven't got a chance to try it yourself. And yeah, we'll be today we'll be cover predominantly Megaport MegaIX Internet Exchange Service. But before that, let's go through something a little bit about myself. My name is Morgan Wang, and I'm a solution architect here in Megaport. I'm based in Melbourne and predominantly look after our customers in Victoria, Tasmania, and New Zealand. But please reach out if you think that I can help you with anything Megaport product or solution related, or otherwise, if you need me to make introduction to our representatives in other regions or cities, happy to do that. You have my email address here, morgan.wang@megaport.com, or otherwise, welcome to connect me on LinkedIn. Right. As I mentioned today, we talk a little bit about MegaIX, which is the internet exchange service hosted by Megaport. Before that, I'll probably dive into some basic Megaport 101s. We have a series of sessions actually recorded and uploaded in YouTube. If you have interest in any specific topic, just feel free to check on the Megaport Solution Architect YouTube channel. Let's start with some a brief introduction of the company. Megaport has been in the industry for roughly over 10 years now. And we have built a massive global network across now 26 different countries. And we are in over 930 data centers now globally. I think the number is still increasing. It's 100% higher than that now. And we have interconnected with multiple public cloud providers or hyperscalers like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Oracle, etc., and over 280 on-ramp locations. So the idea of Megaport is we are data center agnostic and public cloud provider agnostic and carrier, ISP or carrier provider agnostic. So any customer, as long as they can find Megaport in their data center, they can connect through Megaport to any destination they like on the Megaport platform. So how does Megaport solution or product make customers' life easier? Imagine if without Megaport, traditionally, if the customer, for example, in one or multiple data centers, and they want to connect to public cloud providers or they want to interconnect with their data centers, they need to engage with different ISPs or different windows for different connections. For example, AWS might be in NextDC and Azure probably in Equinix and Google Cloud in another data center. So from your data center to different public cloud provider, you need to organize different connections, may or may not through different ISPs, and have them all delivered to your data center, which means you need multiple devices or one device with multiple ports to interconnect to those cloud providers. And also between the data center, kind of like you need to organize point-to-point connections through one or multiple ISPs as well. That is actually quite exhausting process to have everything in place in your data center physically. But with Megaport, as we have already interconnected with over 930 data centers globally, and we have pre-connected to multiple and most popular public cloud providers and over 280 on-ramp locations. That means as long as you are in the data center where a Megaport is enabled, you can use Megaport, probably just order one port, physical optic interface from Megaport, and drag that port through a cross connection from our rack to your rack. So you automatically can connect to all the data centers and the public cloud providers with just one single connection. Of course, there's option that you can build redundancy on top of that. For example, multiple data centers or multiple ports in one data center, or even different availability zones in data center. And that's just can provide customer really flexible and quick deployment over our fabric, because everything we do that through API. That all the connections, all the ports, and interconnection can happen within 60 seconds. And if you have a chance to actually play around with Megaport portal, that portal is actually based on the same API interface we provide to our customers. That means if the customer really like the API but doesn't like the portal, they can build their own portal through the same API interface, and everything can be automated through their own way. That's how easy things can be done through Megaport and the portal. In terms of Megaport products, we actually categorize the product into two different directions. One is access service. That means pretty much where the connection can be initiated. Initially, that's from a physical optical interface port in the data center. And with some customer moving into multi-cloud strategy or even hybrid cloud strategy and cloud-only strategy, we actually also introduced another two flavors. One is a Megaport Cloud Router. Another one is a Megaport Virtual Edge. The Cloud Router is basically a hosted turnkey routing instance, which is on the Megaport virtual platform. And you don't actually need to build your own data center rack and the router if you just need to interconnect multiple public cloud services, and the MCR, the Megaport Cloud Router, can do that for you. That's one alternative to physical port in the data center. And if a simple routing instance is not enough or not good for your requirement, for example, security concerns, for example, complex routing, the MV is actually a different flavor on the same platform, hosting platform, where we open up the hypervisor for our customers to run different virtual appliances from next generation firewall to router, virtual router to SD-WAN edge. And through there, you can provision multiple connections to different destinations, a physical data center or public cloud provider, things like that. And those are access services. In terms of the connectivity from one of the access service, everything then will be a VXC kind of or type of a connection, which stands for virtual cross connection. You can virtually connect to a public cloud provider, which we already built a NNI with, or you can cross connect to Megaport internet router in certain metro areas, which we can provide you IP transit service from the Megaport internet router. And you can actually interconnect to multiple private services, for example, between your data center or between your data center or MCR or MVE to another Megaport customer or partner, as long as they provide you the authority to do that. And also you can connect to Megaport IX, MegaIX, Megaport Internet Exchange. Yeah, that's the main topic of today session. When talking about MegaIX, it's predominantly only through a physical interface in Megaport Data Center. And from the port, it's more specific about the port. Now, if you can see on the screen, that we can actually provision up to 100 VXCs from one physical port to different up to 100 destinations. For example, you can still connect your physical port to a MCR or MVE. If you want to leverage MCR or MVE for cloud-based routing or gateway or edge device, and then bring the traffic back to data center. And you can through the from the port connect to multiple public cloud providers or marketplace, or interconnect your physical ports in different data centers globally, because we do have a global backhaul network that you can provision a intercontinental connection within 60 seconds. That's pretty cool as well. Right, that's a recap or 101 of Megaport, and a little bit about the access and the IX. Let's now concentrate on the MegaIX service we provided to our customers. We have actually established up to now 30 different internet exchange globally, in North America, in Europe, and in APAC. On the screen, you notice that the red ones are most recent announced or enabled locations that we have MegaIX available for our customers. In North America, Montreal, in Europe, Dublin, and APAC, we have Adelaide and Osaka just enabled for our customer to peer with other peers. How does MegaIX work in terms of architecture? So it's basically a physical port the customer need to purchase from Megaport. And from that physical port, you can provision, again, same concept, we actually virtual cross connection to our route server. And behind the route server, there are multiple other like content providers or ISPs peering with us already. So you can actually leverage the MegaIX peering to offload your internet traffic or to better manage your traffic flow, things like that. And not only the port can do a IX peering, with that same port, you still can leverage the 100 up to 100 VX limitation. So that means if you provision one VXC for the MegaIX connection peering, you can still provision up to 99 other VXCs, use them for public cloud provider, use them for internet, use them for private connections, and so on. So that's probably one investment for multiple use scenarios. In terms of the requirement for peering in MegaIX, it's pretty similar to any other IX available globally. We require customer to have their own AS number that you need to confirm that this is assigned by the authority to your business, and you need to have a minimum of /24 IPv4 address or /48 IPv6 address range to be able to announce them in public internet. That's it. That's pretty much all the hard requirements, and all the other things are just optional. The beneficial of peering with MegaIX, I think it could be that we do provide the same capability of service activation as flexibility. That means that you can turn up that service in 60 seconds from portal or through API interface. If you have the port running, next minute you would have a MegaIX peering established on the Megaport fabric and ready for you to peer from your router to our route server. And we do support the multilateral route servers, a pair of route servers in each of locations to provide you high availability and redundancy. And you can do some manipulation through BGP communities. And a very important thing is, although Megaport is a publicly listed company in Australia, the IX service itself is free of charge. So any customer can just jump onto the MegaIX and appear with us, as long as they meet the certain requirement, as I mentioned, the public IS number and minimum IP range. And if that happens, sorry, excuse me. If it happens that in your city or metro or location, we don't currently run a MegaIX service, you can actually peer with another MegaIX, which nearby or remotely, as long as you're happy with the peering location that might help with your announcement and the routing. The recommended, as I mentioned, the requirement of MegaIX really just the two, right? AS number and IP range, but there are some recommendations. The recommended MegaIX peering is once you create a port on Megaport portal, we then assign an IP address for you to configure on your router or firewall. And through that IP address, we then ask customer to peer with both of our route servers in that same IX location. That means if one route server goes down, you still have another one. It can feed you all the routes from the MegaIX. And this is something we call single IX configuration. But if possible, we would recommend the customer to set up redundant IX configuration. That means the port, consider the physical port, it can be a single point of failure, right? Even you set up two peerings from your routers through the port to two different route servers, the physical port itself can be a single point of failure. So in order to eliminate that single point of failure, then we recommend the customer to be just order two ports. If in one data center, then the two ports should be in two different availability zones, or otherwise you can order them in two different data centers for a location-based redundancy. And from each of the ports, you then peer with two route servers separately. And that makes sure that you have a physical and a logical layer of protection. When one service or one physical piece of hardware goes down, you still have the MegaIX service up and running. as I mentioned early on, that once you peer with MegaIX, you can then directly have access to other peers available on the MegaIX in terms of what resource or what kind of content provider can I actually peer with in that particular location. You can jump onto peering DB, which is actually a good resource for you to understand uh, what's available in which IX location. And the Megaport is a silver sponsor of PeeringDB, and through PeeringDB, you can check out all the available peers as long as they're happy for us to share available on that specific IX location. Let me try to share that. Let's try to. Not sure if I'm sharing that. No, I am, right?
Yep, looks good. I can see the peering DB tab there,
Yep.
Morgan.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, if you jump into PeeringDB, then just search MegaIX. You can see that all the locations actually being listed here. And for example, I'm based in Melbourne. I'll just try to find my local Melbourne MegaIX. And once you get in there, you can see that there are multiple different types of peers available through MegaIX. We have some local ISPs peering with us, for example, 5G networks and Vocals and Superloop. And we have some content providers, Akamai, we have Netflix, we have AWS, and we have also some enterprise customers who want to utilize Megaport to optimize their internet traffic and internet paths as well. So that's good resource if you try to understand before you jump onto MegaIX, what benefit can I get through MegaIX and what peers can I meet in that particular MegaIX location, right? Another resource is if you jump onto docs.megaport.com.ix, sorry, .com/ix, there are some introductions about the basic requirement and the concept of MegaIX and what you need to do in terms of set up a single peering configuration or redundant configuration, and what are the steps, very specific steps when you try to set up this MegaIX peering. Yeah, I think that's pretty much a very brief introduction of MegaIX today. Luckily, we have some time left. I can jump onto the portal and do some demo to show you how this actually works in the real world. Here I'm logged into the Megaport portal, which free of charge if you just want to register and have a look around, use your company email address or even personal email address. Before you provide any like a credit card or charging information, we won't charge you anything, and you won't able to order anything as well. But it's a good place to just have a look and play around to see how things work with Megaport. This is our lab environment, so you can see there are multiple services actually being ordered by my colleagues for demo, for testing purposes. And normally, if it's a customer environment, then we won't see so many services are down. Pretty much should be 100% up and running. But this is just the lab. I'll go into the service tab, try to order a port. You know what? What might help is this is a production environment, portal.megaport.com. I might just do another one. We have a staging environment. It's pretty much the same email address, sorry, URL, just after the portal, you add -staging, and that provides you if I can show you, that provides you exactly the same experience in terms of what I can see through the portal and what the services I got from a Megaport. The only difference is the staging portal actually takes snapshot of your production environment every each midnight, and you can have a play around with the staging. Sorry, to test your API scripts, to test your configuration, see if that's valid. And it won't actually provision anything to the Megaport fabric. Once you're happy with your operation in the staging portal, you can then move the same thing or reproduce the ordering process in the production environment, and that will give you some, place to practice and play around. Let's just do that in the staging environment. I'm in Melbourne. I'll just order a pod in Melbourne. Equinix, do a 10 gig pod, name that as DW test, MegaIX primary. I won't commit any term because this is just a demo, and I'm happy with everything else being default at the port. And this is just adding your service requirement to the configuration. It's not actually ordering anything. Once I'm happy, I just review the order and to see everything looks good. Click order now. In the production environment, within 60 seconds, I'll have a hyperlink pop up here, the blue one. There's LOA download. So I can have the LOA downloaded to local and forward to my data center operator to get some help, organize the cross connection from this Megaport fiber optic interface to my rack, to my router or firewall. But this is a staging, so yeah. I get this letter, but I can't actually really send this letter to Equinix because this is just something happening only in the backend in our platform. So you can see that the LOA letter is ready. So as long as I have a cross connection ordered from this port to my router, I can use the port. And here I have some shortcuts. One of them is Internet Exchange. I'll just go order a Internet Exchange VXC. Apparently Melbourne is my local one, but I can pick Adelaide, Sydney, or whatever location I'm happy with. With that, give the name. I probably don't, as a demo, I don't have a massive throughput. I'll just order a 1 gig VXC for my peering. And I can leave the automation to pick a VLAN ID for my VXC, or otherwise, if I'm happy with one particular one, I can just assign one. 1, 2, 3, 3. Yeah, looks good. I use that one as my VXC. And here comes to the actual requirement of AX peering. I need to provide my valid public S number for the AX peering. I'll use a reserved Megaport one, but if you go ahead and order your own peering, just remember to use your valid one. MAC address, this is the MAC address presented on your interface of your router, with which is going to peer with Megaport directly. So I'll probably use a dummy one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I can pick a password or not. I can set up the graphic visible to public or private. And if you are if you have multiple S numbers behind your S number, for example, your ISP are running the peering on behalf of your customers, then you need to provide your AS set, so we can validate that not only from your AS number, also from your AS set AS numbers, you can announce certain prefixes. And also we do RPKI validation. So make sure that everything you announce through your AS number is valid and can be verified. Oh, apparently the MAC address input is not valid, but that's basically the idea of how to create your Megaport interface and IX peering through the portal. Yeah, as I mentioned, it can happen very quickly, within 60 seconds, as long as you have everything else ready, the router, the configuration, and the cross connection. And if you have any questions or just want to see more details about ordering anything in general or just MegaIX, please feel free to reach out. Happy to do another demo personally, or maybe we can have a discussion about anything in general. All right, the time is up. I'm already running over. Thank you very much for joining the session, and as mentioned, please feel free to reach out for anything that we can help with. With that, that's a conclusion of today's session. Thank you so much, and have a great weekend. Cheers. Bye.